What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the Channel 8 podcast. I'm your host, Sean Go, and today I'd like to welcome Allan Martinez, also known as Spooner, to the show. So for those that don't know or who haven't heard of him before, Allan is a self-professed geek, a Twitch affiliate, graphic designer, but we also, more importantly, share an unhealthy love for superheroes, Disney, and amassing tons of stuff due to our bad collecting habits. Welcome to the show, Allan.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Is this going to be like an intervention? I feel like it's going to be some sort of intervention where you and I just kind of like unpack everything, and then we just like, I don't know, we gotta reevaluate ourselves or something.
I mean, looking at my background and then looking at your background, I think we both kind of need an intervention.
Oh man, let's not show this to our families and friends. Let's just maybe we don't publish this one. No, thanks for having me though. I appreciate it.
No, of course, man. It was long overdue. Like I said from the beginning when I started this podcast, I just want to explore everything I'm interested in, whether that's sneakers or in your case, like the more geeky side of me. So I definitely want to talk about that stuff tonight.
I love that. I'm down.
So usually how I start this off, and I know you're probably not as into sneakers as you once were back in the day, but I'm curious, like being in the pandemic and all that stuff, what shoes have you been wearing lately, or at least in the past couple weeks or so?
Pandemic shoes. It's been a lot of like just like staples, so like Chuck Lowe's, like Vans old schools, what else? Stan Smiths, and then just like runners here and there. Sometimes I'll pop on the ones if I'm feeling fancy, or like my Dunks and stuff. But honestly, it's been a lot of working from home, so not a whole lot of shoe wearing.
I hope you have some nice cozy slippers or something.
I have them right next to me. You know
let me
those
see it.
those like these joints from Ben.
Oh yes.
I wanted them, and then I was kind of like, oh, they're a pre-order, maybe no, it's all good. And then for some reason the cancellation didn't go through, and I ended up getting them shipped. So I was like, okay, fine. It was meant to be. I bought them. They came. I love them, and they're freaking cozy and they're warm. Yeah.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Those are the home kicks.
So how many pairs are you down to in your collection?
Let's see. I still have quite a bit. I was over 200. I think I broke past that because I'm selling a lot more than I am buying now. I have a whole bunch of shoes still on deck that I need to like just put out there and like try and get rid of. I think I'm around the 160, 170.
Jeez, still. Man, how do you store all this stuff?
They are in multiple closets. There's this one here. So I like got a few here with it, which are like my like prized pairs, the ones that like I'll never get rid of. And then I have like IKEA wardrobes downstairs, and those carry maybe about 60 each. So there's like 60 in one for sure. And then you know how dunk boxes are a little bit narrower and stuff like that. So I could fit a bit more. So the other one has about another 40. So like 100, and then just a bunch over here. I actually might be less than 150 now that I'm thinking about my math. But let's not think about that.
So basically what you're saying is our wives are saints for accommodating our stuff.
Oh, bro, 100%. Absolutely, 100%. We're so lucky to have found the ones that we did,
for
bro.
Sure, man. Definitely. Yeah. So for myself, the past week, so I wore the Kith New Balance 990 V3, the one that just came out. I wore the Nike Dunk Low in the Spartan Green or Varsity Green colorway, the Nike Air Max 1 Spiral Sage. It was a rainy day the other day, so I wore the Black Cement 3s. And then last pair for the week was the Atlas Skateboards SB Dunk High Lost at Sea. So that's my rotation.
That rotation. Holy smokes. That rotation.
So I know you've slowed down a lot in terms of buying sneakers, but has there been any additions to your collection since we last spoke like months ago?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. So you sent me the rundown and I was looking through the questions, and then I saw that one and I was like, oh shoot, what have I bought? And then I had to do some research within myself. I asked the best friend too if he remembered, because his memory is a lot better than mine. And last year, all I bought were the Miles Morales Superstars, and this year, thanks to Jewberry, right?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks to Jewberry, she hit me up and she was like, do you want my court, is it court purple or purple court dunk lows?
Yep, court purple.
And I was like, yes, I'm down. I would love a pair of those. I'm still keeping like tabs on shoe releases and stuff like that. I still follow a few outlets here and there. So I'll see a bunch of the stuff that's coming out, but in my head, I'm just like, yeah, those are mad dope, but like they're so difficult to get nowadays. Like you got to go through so many loops and holes to get these sneakers, and I'm good. I'm good.
Amazing how you've gone from 200 pairs of shoes to now you're going one pair a year.
Dude, I thought about it. It's like I don't feel like trying so hard to grab a pair of shoes anymore. It's just mostly like whatever falls in my lap and like whatever gets sort of like handed to me, not in terms of like free shoes or whatever, but I mean in terms of like, hey, I got these. Did you want them for like retail or whatever? Yes, I'll hop on it. Sure. If it's an easy cop like that, I'm down. But if it's if I gotta like sign up for like 30 different raffles, ask my friends and tag 50 different people, I'm all right. I'm good.
For my week, it's been actually a very late week, all things considered, for my standards.
I was gonna say, what's a light week for Sean Go?
Okay, so let's see here. So first off, shout out to Adidas Canada. They sent me the Adidas Forum Low in the classic white and blue colorway. The Under Armour Canada family sent me over a pair of the Hover Sonic 4s in the Pride Month colorway. So that one's really dope.
Hey.
I got a pair of it's my double up of the Allan Martinez Air Jordan 3s. So shout out to Livestock.
I love
Beauties,
those.
Huh? Yeah, so nice.
Yeah, man. I like staring at them.
I even tell myself, like, I don't double up anymore, but this is one of those shoes where I was like, hey, I won the raffle. I'm going to take it.
That's always been my philosophy for doubling up. I never saw a purpose for doubling up, but you know that there's that one shoe that you just, as soon as you see it, you know, you like, I need to have two pairs of those.
For sure, man. And the last two pairs I got were the Sacai Nike Blazer Low in both the green and orange colorway. So Haven, for some reason, it was actually really, like, it took a while for it to sell out. So I took my time checking out one at a time, and I got both.
Nice.
So let's move on to my channel flipping segment, which is a rapid fire Q&A session where I give you two options and you pick the one option that you're feeling the most. Are you ready?
Down. Go for it.
Okay, let's go. First question, Nike Air Max or Nike Dunks?
Nike Dunks, hands down.
Tsum Tsums or Funko Pops?
Oh my God. Funko Pops. It's got to be Funko Pops.
Lion King or Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, shit. Sorry, can I curse? That's my bad.
Do your thing, man.
Damn, Christine, my wife is gonna she knows my answer for this one though, but Beauty and the Beast is her movie and Lion King is mine. So like I don't know how you ended up picking both of our favorites, but you did it. Lion King.
Hey, I did my research before this, all right?
Hey. Respect.
All right, next question. Ash Ketchum or Russell from Up?
Oh, that's not even fair. I am Russell from Up. God damn. I have to go Ash Ketchum.
You're disrespecting yourself, man.
Listen. I'm Russell and I'm a fan of Ash Ketchum. Let's leave it as that.
Star Wars or Dragon Ball?
Oh, shoot. I hate you. Oh, shoot.
I'm so glad these are tough questions.
Oh, shoot. Gosh darn it, Batman. Oh, I'm stumped. I don't even know. I think currently it's Star Wars. Currently it's Star Wars.
Okay.
If you asked me like maybe like 10, 15 years ago, I would have said Dragon Ball Z 100%.
Power Rangers or Street Fighter?
Oh, Street Fighter.
Was that like an easy choice?
That was an easy choice. Yeah, Street Fighter means both of them mean a ton to me, but Street Fighter like has a big chunk of my heart.
Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne?
I hate this so much. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna head out.
This is the first and last time that Spooner's ever showing up on this podcast.
Oh God damn, Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne? I have to go Bruce Wayne.
Justice League or X-Men?
X-Men.
Infinity War or Endgame?
That is also hard. I think though, like, shit. I was gonna like defend Infinity War, and then I thought of like the theater moments of Endgame, and my brain just short circuited. I think I gotta go Endgame.
Okay, final question. You ready?
Yeah, I'm down.
Spider-Man or Mickey Mouse?
Oh, Spidey, come on. Come
I thought that
on.
was gonna be the toughest one.
No, it can't be.
Wow.
I gotta go Spidey. I love Mickey.
Yeah.
I love Mickey, but like just like as a origin story, my love for Mickey grew when I started dating Christine. So like years, like 13 years ago when I started dating Christine, her love for Mickey, like, washed upon me. But like I've been a Spidey kid since I was like 4 years old, 5 years old. So that was an easy answer.
What character would have made it like the toughest question if it was Spider-Man or who? Or is there no one that comes close?
No one compares to my guy. No one compares to Spidey for me. My love for Mickey is there. Like I love Mickey and I love his history. But yeah, nothing compares to my boy Spidey.
TIL, man. Yeah, because you have the Mickey fitteds, you have like the Mickey gear and everything. I was like, all right.
Oh, I love Mickey Mouse and his clothes. Yeah, the clothes that they make for Mickey, his merch is so cool.
Yo, Carmen and my wardrobes are full of Mickey stuff.
Trust me, ours too. Ours too.
So, Alan, you're probably the biggest fan of comic book culture that I personally know. So, I'm curious to know like your story. Like, how did you even first get exposed to comics, superheroes, and all that stuff?
Am I actually?
I think so.
Holy smokes!
I think so.
Whenever I hear people say that, I'm like, no shot. And then I like look around me, and then and then it all makes sense in a little bit. I think honestly, my love for comic books and superheroes stems from all the nights that I spent with my cousins growing up. They were also superhero comic book lovers. I don't think any of them really grew to the level that I did in terms of loving them. But it was the nights in their basements and stuff, looking at all of their toys and all the action figures that they had. I don't tell them, but I stole one of their graphic novels, and it's actually I love that book.
Which one is it?
It's actually it's Marvel versus DC.
Oh yes.
It's so good. It's so good. I've read it like 20 times. It's downstairs. It's on the bookshelf with my other graphic novels. And that book combined with 90s Spider-Man and 90s X-Men on Fox Kids. That was it. That was when like I just knew superheroes were like the best. Just the best.
The first movie I ever watched in the movie theater was the original Ninja Turtles back in 1990, I think.
Oh, that's where your love for Ninja Turtles stems from, eh?
My first love is Ninja Turtles. Second love is Batman. I don't know why. I think I just had some random Batman comics or something lying around the house.
Yeah.
But those were my first two loves. And then, even though I'm a Marvel guy now, but I think my dad just took me to buy comics at AK Comics at Asian Court Mall in Scarborough.
I didn't start collecting comic books until I got my first job. So I didn't start collecting like the single issues and stuff and hitting up comic book shops until I got my first job. And the first series that I jumped into was Ultimates 3. It's that series for some reason to get like super nerdy is like frowned upon for some reason. It's like it was like the Ultimate Universe Avengers, but it was like the third like chapter or volume of them, and not many people were fans of it. They thought it was like a bit weird or whatever. But the artwork, Joe Madureira, I think, was the artist, and he's just a beast.
He's so good, but he's so delayed in all his work.
I know it's because he's so in demand though. Like it's because he's so amazing. So that combined with Udon Comics' Street Fighter comics.
Yes, I bought that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those were like the first series that I jumped into, and then it just stemmed from there. It's just been
So when you started, did you have a preference of Marvel or DC? Because you're hardcore Marvel now, right?
reading comic books when I used to still like pick up issues and stuff like that. I did pick up a lot of DC. The ratio is still, I would honestly say it'd be like every 5 books would be 2 DC books, probably. Every 5 Marvel books would be 2 DC books. Um, Mostly because there weren't too many heroes that like I like fell in love with at DC.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like Batman, obviously, The Flash, Wonder Woman. Sometimes I'd pick up Green Lantern, but the only reason I don't rep DC a bit now, or as much as I rep Marvel now, is I think it's mostly because the movies. To
Mm-hmm.
be honest, the MCU has a lot of what's the word? It's not inspiration, but influence on like what I'm consuming and what I'm like buying and stuff like that. Because let's face it, like the MCU is absolutely incredible. DC is trying to replicate that, but like they've been fumbling so bad. We can That's like a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I
but
don't want to
like
bash DC, but no, they're no.
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 Yeah, no, I love DC's superheroes. It's just they haven't been making quality stuff for me to like obsess
Yeah,
over. You
totally.
know what I mean?
Like as a kid, so I never really connected with DC superheroes as much. Obviously Batman I love, but I just felt Marvel was a lot more relatable. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased, but I just connected with Marvel characters
No, I
way
feel that.
more.
Like we can dig into it a bit deeper, but DC's stuff was very it's weird because Marvel also has like mystical, weird, strange stuff as well, but DC was like a bit further than that. Like
Yeah.
it was DC was a lot of like alien stuff, was a lot of like fantasy, even more fantasy rather than Marvel was. Marvel did or does feel a lot grounded, and I think that's why people love Batman the most, is because he is the most grounded DC superhero. So I mean, yeah, like we could break that down as well,
We
but
won't go down that road. But but to your point about like the MCU as a kid, and I'm sure you can feel the same way too. Reading these comic books, I would never ever imagine that we would see the level of quality of movies that we see that Marvel's putting out today. Like it's
oh, like I'm
ridiculous.
getting goosebumps thinking about
Right?
it.
Like, do you remember at what point when during the entire MCU timeline that you kind of realize like this is something special? Like this isn't just like your Fox's Daredevil or your Elektra or like the
Yeah,
terrible
yeah,
movies
yeah.
from the early 2000s. This was something different.
Honestly, it clicked for me as soon as the movies after the 2012 Avengers were hitting. You know what I mean? Like you don't expect to go and see Guardians of the Galaxy and go and leave the theater and be like, I freaking love Rocket Raccoon. I freaking love Gamora. You know what I mean? Like it was like those off movies, those characters that we didn't know or fall in love with just yet, that like you sort of knew that they're building something incredible here, and it was like just absolutely bonkers. And then from there it was like I think it was Winter Soldier was the last movie I slept on for not watching like on day one. And then as soon as I saw Winter Soldier and how great that was, I was like, no, midnight releases through and through. No, no more of this. I'm not sleeping on any more MCU movies.
For me, I think so individually those first few movies were solid. But then I think a part of me was still skeptical about how they would put them all together in the Avengers movie. But then
You just don't know,
yeah,
right? You
right?
just don't know how they're gonna do it.
Yeah. But then seeing them all together was just like they're actually pulling this
Dude,
off.
yeah. When you saw the first like Cap, Thor, and Iron Man movie, were you aware that they were like trying to build like a massive universe type of thing?
Yes, because like the post credit scenes, like they kind of show up like Fury
Yeah,
or Tony Stark would show up in each other's movies and stuff like that. So I'm like, all
yeah.
right, this is cool, but I just never imagined they can actually pull it off and make like an ensemble movie like that.
The execution.
Yeah, and then to your point, like Winter Soldier, man, like I don't know what is your favorite MCU movie? Because mine, Winter Soldier, is definitely up there. One of my favorites for
Oh
sure.
man. Can we do like top three?
Yeah, let's do top three.
No, well that's
I can't even name
I
top
mean
three.
like
Just what are some of
me
your
neither.
favorites, man?
Okay. Obviously the Spidey movies. Oh, question for you.
Yeah.
Favorite Peter Parker / Spider-Man actor.
Oh, is that even a? Come on, man. Come, gotta be
It's
Holland.
gotta be okay. Come on, man. You get me with a come on, man. Yeah. Okay. So other than the Spidey movies, it's gotta be like Captain America's series is honestly my second favorite
so
after
good.
Spidey. And then obviously Infinity War, Endgame. Uh, Iron Man 3 is slept on. I loved that. Age of Ultron is also slept on. I honestly, when I talk about like my MCU rating, even though you're last place, you're still up here. You know what I mean? Like every movie to me is like S tier, A tier. None of the movies are like they're like my least favorite. So they're still a favorite. They're just the least favorite.
I'm a Captain America fanboy when it comes to MCU. So his
Yes.
story arc is like
Let's
that's
go.
top for me. And obviously like Endgame, Infinity War, those are just blew my mind, man. Those are crazy.
Honestly.
Sleeper picks, like I don't know. Like I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was great. I didn't even know barely anything about them prior to going to the movies, and then I came out of it like, this is incredible. The dynamic of all the characters is just perfect.
Honestly, that's why I'm like so excited for what's to come. I have no idea who the Eternals are. I barely know anything about Shang-Chi. Like,
Speaking about what's to come, so I think so Loki's happening right now, and then next month is Black Widow, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And then what's going on next?
I believe. Then it's Shang-Chi after that in November, I believe.
And Eternals is this year as well?
Eternals and Spidey, no?
Is Spidey? So Spidey is this year. Okay, I wasn't.
I think so. I feel like we might need to double check the info on that one. I might just be too excited because it's my boy, you know.
But basically, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, which we're very excited for.
And especially in like the next few years, Phase 4 is going to be absolutely bonkers.
Yo, Fantastic Four, man, I'm ready.
Dude, X-Men, I'm ready. I can't wait to see. Like, I've been saying that like the X-Men and Fantastic Four, you know how people like shit on the previous iterations of those movies.
Cough, cough, Fox.
Yep. I have the utmost faith in Kevin Feige and the Marvel Studios to like they're obviously gonna do it right. So like when I see their versions of these stories, like, oh, dude,
question for
I can't wait.
So because you're a pretty big X-Men fan, right?
I love X-Men, yeah.
So would you rather they start the X-Men movie series as the originals, like Angel, Beast, Iceman, those guys, or kind of have them kind of more established
as like the 90s X-Men?
Yeah.
The Jim Lee roster?
Exactly.
I think the 90s. I think the 90s one needs to be the way to go. So like Cyclops, Wolverine, Jean Grey, Psylocke, Gambit, Nightcrawler. Yeah, that crew. Iceman.
Yeah. I wonder how they're going to pull that off. I'm not doubting them. I know they will, but I'm very excited.
I know
to see it.
And like the most exciting thing is going to be their casting.
Yep.
What about you? Do you think they should do First Class or should they do the 90s crew?
I think if they can nail down the characterizations of the 90s roster, then I'd much prefer 90s. I just don't want it to be like the Wolverine show featuring Cyclops. You know what I mean? Like Cyclops is the leader. He should get
yes. Yes. They absolutely need to turn around Cyclops and turn him into a badass again.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I can't stand the Cyclops shade that everyone throws. That's my guy. I love Cyclops so much.
So you also stated in your IG bio that you are into collecting, which we touched upon this earlier before. So I have the same problem as you.
I don't know. I can't tell. I don't see any collection of ours. It's just a fake backdrop.
So I think when we both get like interested in something, I don't know, like you probably feel the same way, but I get like really, really invested. So can you share with our listeners, what are some of the things you collect other than sneakers, obviously, and how do you manage your collections?
Oh man, managing collections. I actually learned from collecting sneakers. because when you start to amass so many pairs, you sort of look at them and you kind of realize that like you don't wear half of that collection, and you don't care to wear half of that collection, and that's what's taught me to be like, start instead of like picking up things just because they're on sale or picking up things just because they're available or whatever. Start looking at the things that you need to like, where you feel like it's an absolute must to grab. And since then, that's essentially how I've been picking up stuff, and that's how I've been like changing my mindset for collecting things, especially with like Funko Pops, because you can amass them so fast because of how cheap they are. Through the years, since 2011, I've collected hundreds of Funko Pops. And the eye opener was when Christine and I moved into our first home, and we had them all out of boxes and stuff, or not like on display, but I mean like moving boxes. So they were in their like packages, and they were just like stacked on the walls. And we both just kind of like, no, no, this can't be, like, this is not real. This isn't ours. And a lot can, like, seeing your entire collection as a whole can truly change your like your perspective on how you choose to spend your money and make space for things that like truly matter and things like that. So I mean, Funko Pops is what I collect. You can see over here, these are like Hot Toys figures. Those are all Spider-Man ones from the video games. Statues here and there, but it has to be like the perfect combination of like the artist and like the sculpt and the characters. But other than that, it's just mostly, yeah, Pops, Hot Toy figures, and just a few statues here and there. I honestly don't even consider myself collecting sneakers anymore. That's only if it comes up and the opportunity,
yeah,
shows itself.
And is Christine, does she sort of have that same personality where she collects a lot of things, or?
If anything, I collect for her. So like I know what she's into, and then so like I'll buy stuff for her because I know that that'll make her happy as well. She's definitely not the one to, like, she'll see stuff and she'll be like, I want that, and stuff like that. But it's mostly me just grabbing stuff for her because I know that she'd be down for it, and to add to our collection of Mickey Mouses and superheroes and Disney princesses and stuff like that.
Do you ever find that from a financial standpoint, it kind of gets out of hand? Like, how do you do your best to manage that side of things?
That goes back to like knowing what you want to put your money towards. So like part of the reason why I collect these Hot Toy figures in the first place over like the smaller other action figures is basically like the premiumness to it, like the details, the materials, the scale of it. Like Hot Toys are like pretty freaking big, and they look really cool on display, and like they're realistic looking. The sculpts are absolutely incredible, the details are incredible, and I would just rather put my money towards something like that than to keep spending like $70-$80 on a smaller figure that's just like all plastic and stuff like that. Sometimes it gets a bit, actually not really in terms of money, just because like I pretty much prepare myself in terms of like what's coming up, pre-orders that are on their way, and I pretty much stay on top of our budgeting. So thankfully I haven't gotten to the point. I used to, though, man, like when I used to pick up like when I used to collect individual issues of comic books and stuff like that, that got out of hand very, very fast.
That adds up fast. It's crazy.
Oh, dude, absolutely. Because then you're going through like when you don't know what books are coming out and you're just picking up your favorites, and then you find that one previews book that like shows you every single book that comes out every single month or like next month or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, that's a new story, that's a new series, that's a new character. Like that added up so fast. And then that on top of Funko Pops and like other stuff that you want to pick up, man, that was bad. But honestly, I'm blessed and grateful to be at a point in my life where I can comfortably like pick up the stuff that I truly want to pick up. And a lot of it has been filtered out in terms of knowing exactly what I do want to pick up nowadays anyways. So I feel like I got a good grasp on things now compared to when I was like 20 something, early 20s.
Yeah, definitely. I think for anyone listening that does collect a lot of things, I think just being aware of your situation, being able to prioritize, spending within your means, all that's just super important. Because like for myself, my biggest vice obviously is just sneakers. I kind of stopped buying Funkos because it was getting out of hand. And same with comic books, it was getting out of hand. I was buying like not even just individual issues, but even the trade paperbacks. I just buy them just because, just to have them, just the sense of completion, but it wasn't really a genuine need or love for them.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like I stopped. It's not necessarily that I stopped, but it was like the feeling of wanting to complete a set was no longer like a priority for me.
Yes.
It's definitely gone down to filtering out what exactly it is you want and not just grabbing
everything
stuff just to grab stuff. one day. But yeah, like you said though, being aware of your situation and like playing within your means is like the biggest pull you can take out of being a collector.
So the last question I want to ask you or just discuss with you. So you've been heavily involved with gaming, something that I'm not really familiar with. I'm not in that world at all. But I noticed like you started Twitch live streaming around like, was it 2019? Somewhere around there, right?
Yeah, like right at the end of 2019.
So have you always been a gamer since you were a kid? Like what's that story? How did that happen?
So like my gaming history is it pretty much stems from getting our first console when I was like 4 or 5. I'm not even sure, but our first console that we got for, I can't even remember if it was Christmas or if it was my brother's birthday or if my parents just got it for us. I think it was Christmas. It was the Sega Genesis.
Nice.
And like our first game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. That was one of our very first games. And so I love video games right from the get-go. But coming from a family who didn't really like have the ability to afford new consoles every time they came out, all of our consoles were essentially just hand-me-downs from our cousins. Shout out to my older cousins again. I love them. That's hilarious because they they are like the main reason as to what I'm into today. Literally the same 3 cousins. They gave us like our first PS1. They gave us our PS2. We were always a generation behind, but I was still like super amped to play whatever I could. And then obviously it was just the video games that you played when you're over at the cousins or over at your family friend's house or whatever. The first console that me and my brother bought, we split on a PlayStation 3 when we both had jobs in high school. And it was then I got heavily into Call of Duty. That was the shit. And then I got heavy into Street Fighter 4 when Street Fighter made a comeback. And I like ended up falling in love with fighting games. I ended up competing in a couple tournaments like Street Fighter 4. I entered a couple tournaments when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was big. So yeah, you can see how I love my Street Fighter now, huh? And then gaming sort of fell off when sneakers started to become a thing for me. And that was around 2012, I believe. I think that was around 2012. Oh no, well, yeah, I think 2012 was when it was like, yeah, you love sneakers, like you love sneakers and you want to hunt for more and you're like getting into it. And that's when I started to work at like, I think the year after that was when I started to work at Nike at the outlets. And then, so gaming took a backseat then. And then when the PlayStation 4 came out, I had to grab that because Street Fighter 5 was coming out for that. And then it was still sort of stagnant, my love for video games. I would still play it here and there. It wasn't until 2018 when the new Spider-Man game came out and the new God of War game came out, and I realized how far video games have come. And I've just been like just in the deep with video games since then. And yeah, I started streaming late end of 2019, which was like December.
I'm gonna sound like a really old guy here, but what exactly is Twitch?
So Twitch is a platform. It started off known as Justin TV. It started it's a platform where you can basically broadcast yourself playing video games. Nowadays it's doing whatever. You can just hang out, chat. Lots of people just browse the internet and talk to their viewers and stuff like that, and just grow a community. Yeah, the reason why I started was because of my love for hanging out with people and playing video games. A lot of it stems from the emotions that I had watching my brother play video games. Like one of my biggest memories with video games and my brother was watching him play Resident Evil 3 in the dark in our basement and just being freaking terrified, but knowing my brother is playing it, I'd be safe. And it's honestly just a good time, just watching someone go through like a movie or a story, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's essentially what inspired me to start it. Because I've fallen in love with it. I've seen people stream, because like when I did used to pay attention a lot more to the fighting game community, and they would stream their tournaments and stuff like that. They would be streaming it to Twitch or Justin TV and stuff. So I'd see that, and yeah, I just made my way over to it and trying to give it a shot.
Because I see your Instagram story promos for your Twitch, and it's very professional looking. So,
thanks, man.
Is there like a goal that you want to head towards with this?
So like, the dream is that I can do it full time. There's still lots of work and lots of growth to happen in order to make that dream come true. Like creating content outside of Twitch and stuff like that. But that's just because Twitch is not really a good platform to organically grow. As odd as that sounds, I think it's because like it's just live broadcasting, and there's not so much like Instagram where you can find other people so easily. There's not much discoverability on Twitch as like YouTube or other social media platforms have. But yeah, the dream is to be able to stream full time, like quit my job and just focus on streaming and creating content for Twitch and YouTube at the same time or whatever. But yeah, tons more work to do.
Well, I mean, it's only been a year and a half, and seems like you've taken big steps. So I have no doubt that you'll definitely get there one day, man.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you.
So if you want to share with our listeners, where can they find you? What are your social channels?
Instagram and Twitter, I am _Spooner, no E, SPOONR. And on Twitch, I am twitch.tv/Spooner, SPOOONR over there. I was trying to secure SPOOONR on Instagram and Twitter, but there's like some random people who don't even use their accounts anymore, and I can't have it. It's also Twitch because they don't allow the underscore before the username for some reason, and that cheesed me.
Damn.
That cheesed me.
So for myself, if you guys want to check out my YouTube, you can find me at youtube.com/SeanGo. You can find my sneaker photos on Instagram at sgo8, and my Twitter account is sean.go spelt out. So Allan, thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure talking all things geeky, comics, superheroes. Love that stuff, man.
I appreciate you for having me. Appreciate it. It's an honor to be here. Thanks, man.
And thank you everyone for listening, and we'll catch you in episode 19.